Hi, my name is Samantha. Welcome to Safe Haven Sanctuary. I am a trauma expert, self-worth, and intimacy mentor. I use a clinical, spiritual, and energetic lens to heal the body, mind, heart, and soul. This is a space for you to let your walls down, welcome in vulnerability, apply and integrate what resonates, and free yourself from the rest of it. The universe is here to support your deepest dreams, and the only way to meet those dreams fully is by meeting yourself in its full depths and embodying the calling of your soul. Thank you for being here, and let's rise up in our ability to expand and thrive. So when it comes to choosing our life partner, this is one of the biggest decisions that we'll ever make. Because we're not just choosing a life partner. If we're someone who is deciding to have children, we are choosing a parent for our child, a father, a mother. We are choosing someone who's going to be a leader of our family, someone who sets the example, someone who our kids are going to learn from and build belief systems from, someone who they are going to look up to and admire, someone whose love they're going to need. And if this particular person is not emotionally available in the ways that we need them right now, well then, we can rest assured that they may not show up the same way in the ways that our children are going to need them. And the reason I speak about children is because children are going to be the leaders of our new world. They are going to have all the answers. And we want to make sure that we are raising children who are embodied in self-worth, who feel loved, who feel seen for who they are, who feel safe, and who are emotionally intelligent and emotionally connected. And the only way that these children can embody that from a young age is if we as parents set the example for them. And that is why choosing your partner is going to be one of the biggest decisions that you'll ever make. And so I encourage you to really sit down and think about it before you make a commitment in marriage. And I'm not telling you to avoid it. I'm not telling you to sit on it forever. But what I'm asking you to do is to be completely honest with yourself. And here are some questions that you can ask yourself to gain some clarity from that. Are your core values and beliefs in alignment with how you want to raise your children? Not only how you want to raise your children, but how you want to live your life. This doesn't mean that every belief and every core value has to be the same. But are you okay with the differences that you both have? Are you okay with spending the rest of your life with someone who possibly has a different worldview? And if you are okay with that, that gets to be okay. But again, I want you to come back to full honesty without judgment. I think as human beings, we can often just be so hard on ourselves when we have judgments because we want to be that person who doesn't judge. We want to be that person who understands and has compassion. And I want to reassure you that you get to be that person, but you also get to make decisions in self-respect and self-worth. You get to be selfish about this decision because, like I said, this is the biggest decision that you'll ever make in your whole life. I fully believe in marriage and commitment. I think it is one of the most beautiful things that we could ever have in life. But to experience that true, deep profound beauty, it has to be with someone that we can fully accept, not tolerate, fully accept, love unconditionally, not justify. These are all different things. Coming into full acceptance means you see the beauty, the good, and even the maybe not so good in someone, and you love them anyway. Tolerance, the difference with that is also seeing the good and bad, but feeling that irk in your soul and in your heart, knowing that you wouldn't be in this situation if it wasn't for this commitment. And when we make a commitment, especially in a marriage, we want to be in it. And we're sold this old paradigm that marriage is hard. And yes, like there's going to be challenges. But the one thing that should be consistent is you wanting to be there. And even if doubt creeps up sometimes, the love that you have for that person, the faith, overpowers that. And so something to reflect on is, can you come into full acceptance of your partner, or do you actually just see down the line that you might be tolerating something that's actually not in alignment with what you truly want, with what your soul is calling you into? And again, we get to look at this from a non-judgmental perspective. We get to have compassion for ourselves, knowing that being in love with someone can be challenging when we know that they may not be the right person for us. It's not easy to leave those things. But it's really important that we get clear on the reasons why we are staying. And you may come to the conclusion that you're staying for the right reasons. You may come to the conclusion that you're okay with the differences and you're okay with having different values. But just make sure that these decisions are true to yourself, true to your soul, true to your heart. And it's also okay if you find out later down the line too. So I'd like to leave you with this. I'd like to leave you with committing to self-trust and committing to honoring yourself. You get to be selfish. You're not wrong for this. You get to take time to reflect on what it is you actually want. And it gets to be okay if you want something different. And it gets to be okay if you want to stay. Only you will know, and only you can decide this. But I urge you to listen to the messages your soul is trying to communicate to you. And I also want to leave you with this to let you know that you will know when it's right. You will know when it's right. And again, we're sold this old paradigm that everybody has self-doubt before getting married, and everyone has self-doubt in the partner that they choose. And yes, that may possibly come up, but like I said, the love and acceptance will overpower that. the unconditional love versus justifying And so I leave you with this. Pay attention to the messages of your soul. You don't have to settle. In fact, I deeply urge you to raise your standards. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. It means so much to me that we got to spend time together today. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at safehavensanctuary_. And if this episode resonated with you, it would mean the absolute world to me if you would share it with someone who you think it might resonate with as well. Or better yet, you could take a screenshot of this episode and share it to your story, tag me in it, just so we can bring more awareness to the podcast, and this will help the podcast to grow as well too. I appreciate all your support. I appreciate you listening, and I love you. Thank you for being here with me. Your presence, your time, your heart, your soul is so deeply valued here. I'll see you on the next episode.